Hello everyone, very welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angelica. Today I'm gonna do another of these, my most and least used palettes from 5 brands. I have done this before with 5 brands. I picked out my most used palette and my least used palette from a brand. So I have 5 more brands to go through, and I think it was so much fun and you seem to enjoy it as well. But if this is the first time you're here, this channel is almost all about makeup. I love to talk about makeup, apply makeup. Today we're going to talk about makeup. I love eyeshadow palettes, I love neutral makeup, colorful makeup, everything in between. So if you enjoy makeup content, I upload 3 videos a week. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy. But let's go ahead and get started. So I have 5 more brands for you guys. Let's dig in. I have filmed this look, by the way. If it's not up, it will be up on my channel soon. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I will leave it up here and down below. Anyways, let's start with Nomad Cosmetics. I love Nomad Cosmetics. The first palette I got was from a Try Beauty box, subscription box, and then I really wanted to try more. So I have a few palettes from them, and I really like the brand. As I said, I really like the owners. I really love the theme they have. They have these travel themes, so they always pick like a city or a country and make a palette and color story around that specific place, and I love that. I love to travel myself, and I am waiting for a palette from them. I ordered the Haunted Europe palette, the new palette, like more Halloween grunge inspired palette. I am so excited to get that, but I have picked out my least used palette from them and my most used palette from them. So let's start with my least used palette. And it's the first palette I got actually in this Try Beauty box, and it's this one. This is the Lake Como. Yes, a Lake Como palette. It is a beautiful palette though. Look at this artwork here. I have never been to Lake Como, but it is on my wish list to travel and see the Lake Como in Italy. And you have a mirror here, and here is a 9-pan palette. This is beautiful. This has more like blues and greens and a row of more like yellowish neutral shades here. And it is a pretty palette, and the quality is really nice as well. There are not like super sparkly shades here. I feel like these here are more like satin, and these are shimmers, but not like super glittery foil. But it is a nice formula, but I never grab for this. I feel like it is pretty, but I don't grab for a lot of blues. Greens I love, and yellow, but blue I'm not grabbing that much, to be totally honest. And I don't know, it's just something about this that I don't grab for, but it is a beautiful palette though. My most used palette has actually some blues in it, and I'm gonna tell you why I grab for this one the most. And it's this one, the Iceland palette, Fire and Ice. This is beautiful. This is beautiful palette. Just look at this artwork. This is my favorite palette from them. They did such a good job with this color story. And as I said, I'm not a blue person, but these blues I can handle. These are the blues I like. For example, this one. This is not like a bright blue, like sea blue. I don't know. Like super eye-catching blue. It is bright, but it's more muted, and that's what I like. This one is a little more crispy, but I love to have like a crispy blue on my lid. I can do like a more neutral, more neutral crease and put this one on, no problem. And this is more like a minty, and this one I really love because this is a muted blue with a pop. If you just take a little bit of gray in a blue, you get this color, and I love shades like this. These are the blues I love. That's what I'm trying to say. And then you have some greens, and you have some really interesting colors here. I love this grayish green color. This was the shade I was drawn to when I opened this up. This is the shade I am drawn to when I open this up. It's stunning. These two together are magical. And then you have a pop of purple here. You have a really bright green. You have a bright blue here as well. And you have some deeper shade, and this one is beautiful as well, more like olivey green. And you have a row here of reds, and I love reds and orange. So this is a beautiful, beautiful palette. I love everything about this. I feel like this is the best palette they have, in my opinion. I don't own every palette from them, but I own a lot of palettes, and I feel like this color story is the best. I love this one. I use it a lot as well. So let's move on to Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have a few palettes from ABH, and yeah, I'm gonna show you the palette I used the least of my palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's the Riviera palette. I actually like this palette, but I used other ones more. I feel like this is, when I use this one, let me rephrase. When I use this one, I just use this one, maybe this one sometime, and maybe the yellow is the one I grab for the most. The shimmers are beautiful. These are not like the shades I use a lot, actually. I don't know, I love pinks, but if I'm thinking about doing a pink look, I'm not grabbing this one. That's why. If I would have it in my shop, my stash, and I want to do a pink look, of course I'm going to use the pinks, because there are pinks, purples, and you have a brown here and some neutrals. But when I think about maybe pink, I grab for other palettes. I have so many palettes in my collection, so I don't feel like this one is the one I grab for, but I don't feel like it's something wrong with it. I love the shimmers in this one. The shimmers in this one are amazing. I really love the quality of the shimmers, and the mattes, I have no problem with the mattes in this one either. I just think the color story is, I have so many palettes, so I always grab something else before this one. And the palette I use the most, this was hard because I have the Norvina, the purple one, in like this. Now it's this one I'm gonna show you. I use that one, and I also use the Sultry palette. That is quite new in my collection, but I have grabbed that one a lot. But I do feel like this one is my most used when I think about it. It's quite hard when it's like very even, but the Amrezy palette, it's stunning, and I think this is the one I grab for the most because you have some deeper shades here. I love that. You have a lot of browns, which I love, and you have like a purpley plummy shade here as well, and you have some pinks that I like, but I also love the neutrals here. I don't grab for this blue a lot, but the other shades I really love in this palette, and I feel like it is a good everyday palette if you want to do a nice look. And I love the formula of the shimmers from Anastasia. They're very sparkly and glittery. They also have two pressed glitters here, but I don't use that. But I do think this one is a really nice palette if you want to go more deep, like darker. And you can do that with this palette. That's what I mean. You don't have to do it, but if you want, I mean, you even have a black here, and you have a super dark brown here. So I mean, you can go really, really dark. You can do like a smoky eye, or you can do like a liner, as I've done today with eyeshadow. That is perfect with this palette. So I really like to grab this one from time to time. Now when I've had it up here, I feel like I want to put it in my shop, my stash, because it is a beautiful palette. Next up we have Glam Shop. This is like a new brand for me, but I have a few palettes from them, and I love their quality. They have a lot of kick up and fallout with the mattes. If you dip in your brush, you will get some product out of that pan. So I think you will easily pan a palette if you use it just that palette. But other than that, I really like their formula, and their shimmer formula is to die for. It's the best. It's the best. And it's magical, and I want more palettes from them. But I have a few, and I took out my least and my most used palette from them. You all know what my most used palette is, because I've raved about this palette so much. But we're gonna take my least used palette. Oh my god. Okay, and it's this one. This is the newest one. Maybe it's because it's the newest one, but I do feel like this is my least used, and it's going to be my least used from now on as well, because this is like a summer and spring palette, and it's very beautiful. It is very light. I think that's why. It's not every day I feel like I want to do a pastel-y light eye look, and this is it. Like, this is a pastel light eye look you're gonna get from this palette if you just use this one. So that's why I feel like I don't use this that much, and maybe I'm gonna grab it more when spring is here and I want to do more like a very light look. But I feel like this is my least used palette. But oh my god, can we take a minute and just look at this shade here? I always wanna like swatch these shades when it comes to Glam Shop, because they are freaking amazing. Look at that shade, guys. I mean, seriously, can you see? I can see blue here. I can see that you see like yellowish green. I don't know if I can do, maybe I can do the mirror thing here so you can see the blue. I don't think you can. It's so weird because I can see that it shifts in like turquoisey blue to yellowish green, and it's so cool. It's such a beautiful shade, sparkly, intense. So yeah, that's a beautiful shade in this palette. But yeah, it's my least used palette, but it's nothing wrong with it. My most used palette from Glam Shop, you all know if you have been here, is the Citronada palette. This is my absolute favorite, one of my favorite palettes in my collection, and I don't know how many times I've raved about this palette. You are so tired of me probably raving about this palette. But seriously, if you are a gold or more yellow lover, this is the palette you need in your life. Let me tell you that. This is just super amazing. I dropped this palette when I did a video. I don't know what video. Maybe it was like my, if I would keep 10 palettes in my collection or something. I just dropped it on the floor while filming. I was so scared when I opened it up, but I could press this one in, and this one is a little bit, yeah, these mats are a little bit damaged, but I could save it. But if it would be totally smashed, I would buy a new one immediately. This is how much I love it. It's amazing. I mean, the shimmers here are outstanding. They are 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It's just this one and this one and this one, amazing. And the mattes are good as well. I mean, but the shimmers in this one are my absolute favorite ones. And let's go to Kaleidos. I have a few Kaleidos palettes. I have this Futurism palettes. I have the big palettes, you know, the Escape Pod and the Club Nebula. I have the original first palette from them, the Deep Sea Luster palette. I use that one a lot as well, but it came down to two Futurism palettes, actually. That is my most and least used palettes from them. So my least used palette, it's this one. This is the Futurism 3 Astro Pink. I know this is a lot of, like, a favorite for a lot of people when it comes to these Futurism palettes, but for me, I haven't used this a lot. I love this shade though, this like purpley shimmer here, but I don't know, I never grabbed this one. It feels like it's not my vibe, but now when I look at it, I do like this row here, like these, so maybe I should use it in my Shop My Stash because it is beautiful. But I don't know, I'm not grabbing for this, but I'm gonna put it in my Shop My Stash now. I feel like it needs to happen. And my most used palette, I think actually it is this one. I don't know if this is discontinued, I think so. But this is the, is it the 4 or 5? This is the Electro Turquoise palette. And this is how this one looks. I love this palette so much. I have used this shimmer so much. I love it. I love they have a brown here, and I love this matte teal color, and also this turquoise here, and this orange is beautiful. And this one is absolutely stunning as well. It's yeah, it's like a silvery, but it shifts in something. I can't really say. It's a little bit gold, but stunning anyway. I love this palette, and I grab it from time to time because when I want to do something turquoise, I always think about this palette. Always. This is the one I'm thinking about, nothing else. So when I'm grabbing for turquoises, this is definitely the one I use for that purpose. Now we just have one brand left, guys, and it's Revolution. And I'm gonna include Makeup Obsession, I Heart Revolution, Revolution Pro, you know, everything in this Revolution family. And it came down, I have decluttered a lot of I Heart Revolution, not just I Heart Revolution. I have decluttered a lot of palettes from Revolution because I don't think the formula is 100% there. And I had a lot of these I Heart Revolution fruit and food themed palettes. I have decluttered every one of those, I think. Maybe I have one left. I'm not sure, guys. But I just took the ones I have in my collection right now. So what I own today. My least used palette is actually this one. This is a collaboration with Roxarious. So this is the Roxarious Color Burst palette. I have used it. I mean, you can see how I used it, but I don't grab for it anymore. And that's why I can say this is my least used, because I've stopped using it. It is gorgeous colors, but the quality is not there. I love this shade. If this would be good quality, I love a green like this, like a cool tone silver green. But I don't know. It's just not there. But I had it in like with me on vacation a couple of years ago when this one was like new, and I used it a lot that summer, but after that, I don't feel like I grab for this one anymore. The only palette I really grab for when I want to do like a really cool tone look, it's actually this one. And this is really good quality. This is good quality. This is the I Heart Revolution Black Pearl. It's this, you know, mini chocolate bar palette. And this is how it looks inside. This is so good. This is like another formula. Some of these shades here are like cream to powder. Like, you know, the Natasha Denona cream to powder formula. This is kind of the same, not like the same formula, but very similar to that. And this silver shimmer is amazing. It's so blinding. You can see it from the moon. It's amazing. And you have some interesting shades here. You have this one that is a little more like steel dark gray, and you have this lavender purpley silver here. It's a really cool palette. You have some deep shades and you have some lighter shades that goes towards these really cool tone taupey, almost like purpley shades, and I really love that. If you want to do like a smoky cool tone look, this is definitely a palette I can recommend you guys. It is a really nice palette. I really enjoy this one from time to time when I want to do like a cool tone look. Okay, I have been talking a lot, guys, but this was it. As I said, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That would be so amazing. I mean, I don't know, I'm just lying there like very close to 2K, but I'm not reaching that goal yet. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe to see more, and hit that notification bell as I said in the beginning. Then you will be notified when I upload a new video. And that was it. I hope you have a wonderful day, you guys, and take care, and I see you in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye.